Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. And by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Now we're going to be talking with Jenny Glass of the Rosewood Initiative. And Rosewood Initiative has been around for a few years now, but they've already had a grand reopening. So welcome, Jenny. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Now, how long has the Rosewood Initiative been open?
So our community center has been open for just over 4 years.
4 years, okay.
But we've been organizing in the Rosewood area for about 7.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do before? Did you just have a temporary location or out of your home or somebody's home?
Yeah, we didn't even have a location before we had the center. We thought we were going to rent a space, a smaller space around the corner was the original idea, but we expanded that.
Yeah, it's great. It's an old store, isn't it? Like a Albertsons or a Safeway or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was originally a Safeway,
Yeah.
so at 162nd and Stark.
Right.
Most recently it was Q's Billiards, which a lot of people have in their recent memory.
Okay, I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
it's a great location actually. Tell me a little bit about what the reason was for forming the Rosewood Initiative in the first place and what the mission is.
Yeah. So when I started doing organizing work in that neighborhood, there were actually a couple of police officers one from Portland and one from Gresham, who were working together across.
Because you're right in that area.
We're right on the border. Yeah.
It confuses people a lot.
It does. Yeah, especially with the Portland addresses when
Yeah,
you cross the city line and you actually live in Gresham but have a Portland address, which is super confusing.
It can be very confusing. I'm sure it's very hard for people trying to find out the resources like the police and the fire department and those kind of things. I hear that can be a real issue.
Exactly, and that's really why they got started working together and just have more communication across the bureaus.
Okay.
They were responding to a lot of calls in that area and decided to try something different and do some of their own organizing work. So they started holding monthly apartment manager meetings and just reaching community and kind of surveying people and seeing what they wanted in the neighborhood and what they wanted to do to improve things.
So what are they trying to talk about? The issues that keep coming up that are serious issues like crime things or traffic or litter or whatever the issue would be, they try to kind of talk them out at those meetings.
Really quality of life issues.
Yeah.
So that's really how it started. And when I came in, they were doing great work, but they were doing it from a law enforcement perspective.
Right.
And so when I came in and started attending their monthly meetings and kind of inviting more people to attend those meetings, we really heard a host of things from the community that they wanted to do and work on. And one of those things was that they wanted community space to be able to gather and to connect to each other. A lot of neighbors in that area don't have a chance to get to know each other.
Right.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, there wasn't a location in the beginning, so this wasn't a nonprofit at first, was it? Or was it always a nonprofit?
They incorporated the nonprofit in 2010.
Okay.
So they had a vision
done that.
from pretty early on.
Were you the first executive director, however?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so go ahead. So then they started talking and getting to know their neighbors and...
Yeah, and people were really saying we want space to be able to connect to resources, connect to each other, connect to police, and just celebrate and to be to have a place to go to in their own community.
Right.
A lot of the places that people were going to were far outside of the community.
Right. So this at 162nd and Stark is really in the heart of a neighborhood that has had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But it's a good place for people to come together. You tell me the kinds of things that have happened and have taken place, and the organizations and that have inhabited that space while you've been the Rosewood Initiative.
Yeah, so really early on, we knew that we weren't going to be a nonprofit organization that was going to be able to meet the needs that people were bringing up. So our strategy was to partner with lots and lots of organizations. Right. So we started inviting people to work with us really early on. One of our first partners on site at Rosewood was Southeast Works, coming in and doing employment services. And in our space now, we have Southeast Works, Human Solutions, Urban League, Refugee and Immigrant Hospitality Organization, and REAP, who does youth leadership programming. And we've had New Avenues for Youth working with us on site, and lots of organizations that come in and do like one-off events and programs.
Right. Or just, I know there was an issue where there had been, somebody had been murdered, a young man had been murdered who lived not too far from there, and the city wanted to do something for him. I don't know if it was even the city that started it, but the city of Gresham was there, and then there were people, there was a meeting there to talk about doing a mural on the side of the 7-Eleven building. And I went to that first meeting, and there was people from all different organizations and local community members and artists, and it was just a really good place for them to get together and talk about it, and how do we memorialize somebody who didn't deserve to die yet, bring attention to an issue and that kind of thing. I mean, it was a good place for that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is a really good place to convene and to connect on important issues that people care about in the community, and to also work on things together. I think it's really important for people to have space to collaborate and space to work on issues that they care about.
What are some of the other, like the one-offs that you have? You have, or maybe they're not even one-offs, but I hear of a lot of classes and things that you have going on there. What kinds of things can people attend there either on a regular basis or once in a while? Yeah,
well, it's summertime, so we have lots of kids activities going on this summer. This week we have Girls Inc. Camp.
Oh yeah,
which is super
great organization.
Fun. Yeah, and they participated in Zumba this morning, which is an activity that's put on by Portland Parks and Rec.
So you have Zumba classes there regularly?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday at 10:30.
Is that just during the summer, or is that?
No, that's year round.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's year round. So that's a really fun activity that we get to invite people to on a consistent basis. And then when we have camps like in the summertime, then we get, more participants in there.
What has been, what's been one of the hardest things to overcome, being either in that neighborhood or just having that kind of an organization? Because yours is sort of an unusual setup. You're a community center, yet you have all these other organizations that are partnering with you. What's the most difficult thing about managing all that?
Yeah, well, managing all that.
Managing all that. That's it.
Yeah, it is actually a lot of logistics. So we have expanded our staff and our team so that we can manage all of those partnerships and all those logistics. There are lots of issues that are important to the community, and we want to make sure that we have dedicated staff that are working with those partners. So we have a community safety director, we have an economic opportunity director, a transportation director.
Wow.
And then we also have a facility, a director of operations for the facility. So she manages all the logistics of scheduling.
People coming in and out. And
just scheduling events and keeping the center staffed.
I'm really glad to hear you have all that, because when I first met you, I think you were the one running the whole show, and there wasn't a whole lot else, and I can't even imagine having to do that.
It's been a wild journey, but we're at a much more stable phase now, 7 years in, and tons of support.
Remodeled too.
We did just remodel.
So and tell me a little bit about that, and then we have some pictures that I'd like to see too.
Yeah, totally. So we were in the space for about 3 years, and we just kind of built it with community support. So it was very eclectic. There was lots of donated furniture, and everything in there had a story, but really it wasn't what we needed it to be, especially as we started getting more and more programming in there.
Okay.
It was really difficult to have all that activity in one giant room, so we don't have any separate spaces.
So there wasn't a lot of privacy if you needed that.
No privacy, and no areas for people to office or work from. And so that's really, we really wanted to spruce it up and make it look fresh and what the community deserves it to be, and also get a little more functionality out of this space as far as being able to have multiple programming at the same time.
Was this part of the sprucing up here?
Yeah,
what are we looking at here? That was beautiful.
This is a beautiful mosaic tree that over 100 community members built together.
That's gorgeous.
Everyone got to make their own leaf. And then that was set into the tree, which is now on display inside of the center.
Wow,
yeah,
that's great. And so, and what about this? What are we looking at?
So
here?
we just had last Friday on the 4th, we had our 4th annual Rosewood Night Out, which is our biggest event of the year, and we hold that in our parking lot right outside of our community center.
I've been to one of those.
Yeah. It was a very hot day, but we estimate that still like 800 people came out for that event.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, which was a great turnout for a 100-degree day. Yeah.
So these gentlemen,
these are pictures
for
from.
you, or were they just attending?
These are community members and volunteers.
Okay.
On the left, there's Gina, our board member, and our staff, Janet and Sadai.
Okay.
So yeah, these are pictures from our event. It was awesome. We had over 40 community organizations
and
tabling.
some poor man had to stand over a hot grill.
Yeah.
Or several people had to.
Yeah. But they made it through. They did a great job. Yeah.
It's like when community comes together like that, it's like
Yeah.
people are happy to do it. Look at that. So
Totally.
most of these.
So this is a great crew of Rosewood, and then our partners, Commissioner Lori Stegman and her
I see
crew
Lori in
from
the middle there.
District 4, and some of our board members and partner staff. This is from our grand reopening party.
Ah, yes.
So people kind of standing and watching the programming.
Sorry, I had to miss that one. That sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Excuse me. Oh,
there's Marty in the background.
Oh, that's my CEO of MetroEast on the right there. Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. He was dancing, wasn't he?
He was dancing. Yeah, he had a good time.
That's great. Thanks for bringing that picture. That's super. I love that. I can't wait for him to see that one. The woman in the front, or I don't know if it was a young girl or what, with the costume, were there performances then?
Yeah, we had Ballet Papalote perform, and our friend Bretto did a hip hop performance as well.
Oh, great.
So yeah, it was great.
So now that you have remodeled and you're going forward and going towards your 8th year, right? What is it that you need from the community to help keep this going? I mean, obviously you probably survive on what, grants and donations?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Foundation and government grants and donations from individuals. So obviously, we always need support in that way.
Every nonprofit needs that.
Absolutely.
What kinds of things do you want people to know about the Rosewood that is available, or that you want people to come and provide, or what should we know?
There's all kinds of things to participate in, and really no matter what your passion is or what your gifts are, there's a way to participate at Rosewood, whether you like working with children or you can help teach English, or
if I wanted to volunteer and didn't know where I wanted to volunteer, could I just call you and say what are some of the needs?
Yeah, we do that all the time with people. So we usually sit down with people when they say they want to volunteer and really learn a little bit more about them and why they want to volunteer, and what kind of, a lot of people volunteer too to gain skills and to try something new. So asking them questions about what kind of skills they want to gain and just kind of how they would fit in.
More, just getting some volunteer work on your resume helps get a job, because you are learning skills. It wasn't always that way, but now you can get, that'll help you in the marketplace if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Plus there's always a need out there for volunteers. So
yeah, we do work with just hundreds of volunteers.
That's
that Rosewood Night Out event, I think we have over 80 volunteers for that event.
It takes a lot of work to put on those kind of things.
Yes.
It's exhausting work, but you're doing a super job, so I'm really glad to hear that. So if people are interested, we're just about out of time here, but if people are interested, they can go to your website. We'll have the website address on the screen, and they can check it out. I get your newsletter, the Rosewood newsletter, so people can subscribe
Sign
to
up,
that
yep.
and find out what's going on.
Yep, or you can stop by. We're open Monday through Friday.
So Monday through Friday.
Monday's 12 to 5:30, and Tuesday through Friday we're open 10 to 5:30.
Okay.
And then we have lots of evening events and weekend events too.
Okay, so those are just depending on what's going on
Yep.
there. You'll find out how. You'll find out the hours for
Yep,
those.
and our
Wonderful.
calendar is on our website too.
Okay, great. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Jenny. I'm so
thank
glad you're here,
you.
and I'm really glad the Rosewood Initiative is part of our community.
Oh, thank you.
You bet. Thanks for watching Community Hotline here tonight. I hope you learned something. Hope you found out something you might want to get involved in. We'll be right here next week with more information, so check us out then. Thanks and good night.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. And by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.